Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Shattered Silence. My name is Jory. On this week's episode, we are here with Kayla Dalton, a recent widow, and she is here to share her story. Well, Kayla, thank you for being here today. I want you to go from the beginning and just kind of share your story, how you and McKenna met, and just start from the beginning.
So McKenna and I met, we were 23 and 24, and we were raising money for nonprofit organizations. And originally I thought he was way younger than me. Mm-hmm. He looks 12, still looked 12 the day he passed. Mm-hmm. And so I wouldn't give him the time of day for the longest. Mm-hmm. And one day ended up having a conversation and found out he was a year older than me. And so I was like, okay.
You're like, okay, maybe.
I'll entertain this. Started talking. That was like December 2007. And by maybe the second week of January, we lived together. Mm-hmm. And that was all she wrote. It was him and I from then on. And so we got married in 2013. Okay. We were going to Vegas for our 5-year anniversary and had decided 2 weeks prior to that, like, why don't we just get married? Like, we've literally lived together for 5 years. Mm-hmm. We have this home together. And so we got married on a Thursday afternoon in Vegas. Oh my gosh,
love it.
Yeah. Had decided really early on that we didn't want children of our own. Love kids, have a ton of nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. But had decided, like, we were just super selfish with our time. We loved, just doing what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it. No, not having to worry about anybody but ourselves. Right. And so that was really kind of how we lived for, tomorrow would have been 18 years.
Oh my gosh.
Just him and I, day in and day out, and down to the last day. It was really just us.
Yeah.
Talked all day. When we weren't together, we were on the phone together for 17 and a half years. There was never an hour that we weren't talking.
Yeah.
If I was on my way home from work and needed to stop at the grocery store, I went home and we went together. He was on his way home and needed to run an errand. He came and got me first. Like, we just didn't do anything apart. We were so woven into, we were one.
Yeah.
We were really one.
Yeah.
So different from each other, but so alike in what mattered.
It's all right. If you need to pause, you totally can. Like, this is, like, so recent. It really is. This is a paid message from Amelia Malloy's Angels. Did you know that 1 in 6 couples struggle with infertility, often facing emotional stress and the high cost of treatments? That's where Amelia Malloy's Angels, a nonprofit organization, steps in. Serving Kern County since 2022, Amelia Malloy's Angels provides family grants, comfort kits, and monthly support groups that bring hope, financial assistance, and spiritual care to couples who need it. If you would like to support families walking through infertility, you can become an Angel of Hope with a minimum monthly gift of $25, join their prayer team, or sponsor or host a monthly support group. Visit their website at www.ameliamalloysangels.com.
Because that's the big part,
Yeah.
When you have a relationship like that with someone, you want them, like, this is why I'm going through this. Like, you don't understand,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you didn't have the kids and stuff to distract you. It was like, you guys are besties. Like, that is, like, such a strong bond.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, we didn't want to do the same things. We wanted to do the same things. Like, we were so, like, in sync with each other. Like, it was, he knew me better than I know me, and vice versa. I knew him better than he knew him. And I just sometimes think for 17 and a half years, I lived my life one way, day in and day out. And in 3 hours, it was ripped from me. right in I never lived alone. Yeah. I went straight from my mom to McKenna. Mm-hmm. My family was obsessed with him, like, loved him. He was, like, all things good in this world. Mm-hmm. Like, he had a really rough upbringing, homeless, drugs, or parents that were addicts, and like had this crazy thirst for life and this just raw, childlike enthusiasm for life. Mm-hmm. And I just admired him for it. Like, he was magical, mm-hmm. like, for lack of a better word. Yeah. Just everything good. And I know that I was blessed to have 17 and a half years with him. And I know that I was blessed that we had a love, that he loved me and I loved him in a way that some people don't experience in a lifetime. Mm-hmm. 17 and a half years will never be enough, but I'm so grateful that I had it. Mm-hmm. He really supported me in almost, like, not almost. I mean, he really was... He was down for anything, like, mm-hmm. crazy ideas, adventures. Like, 4 days a week, we would just go for drives, like 2-3 hour drives. Like, let's go for a drive, listen to this podcast and, BS or whatever the case may be. I plan events for a living, and he would help. I would... maybe willingly, maybe not so willingly, mm-hmm. but mm-hmm. helped me with a lot of events. Him and my cousin's husband, who I work for, mm-hmm. Were kind of like the muscles, the carrying of the items, mm-hmm. the tear down of the items. And so he would, sign up to, not sign up, I would sign up. I voluntold him what he was doing. And so that's actually how we met you. The first time we met you, we had planned your brother-in-law's 40th birthday party. Yes. And I voluntold McKenna he would be bartending that night. And I remember, like, coming out to, like, see if he needed anything, mm-hmm. and you being at the bar and, like, getting to meet you and chat with you.
Yes. I remember talking with you guys, and even then, like, he was so, like, happy, and, like, I could feel that, like you talking about him, that bright light, like, that just, like, happiness that he had. Time. Yeah, so I remember that from the first time I met you guys. And then, I was on social media, and I feel like it didn't feel like it was that long after that event had even happened.
Less than a year.
Yeah, less than a year. And I was just like, what the heck? I think I saw maybe his obituary. Okay. And I was shocked, I'm like, you just don't know. You don't know what to say, even mm-hmm. though you've been in that position. Yeah. Just like, oh my gosh. Because I wasn't friends with you on social media or anything. So I saw it from someone else. Yeah. And but anyways, I just right away, I'm like, my heart goes out to you, because I just know. It just is horrible. There's no words.
Yeah. So, we have a big corporate client that we do events for mm-hmm. in the summer, and he would always take time off of work to help us with those events, because it was a lot of moving parts. Mm-hmm. And so for this particular event, they have essentially customers that come in from all over the world, and there's about 350 of them. And we this was the fourth year that we've done this event. So we kind of had like a process and mm-hmm. who did what. And so I would, go to the hotel at 5 a.m. and get everybody registered and put on buses. Him and my cousin would, go out and set up the vineyard tour mm-hmm. Equipment. And we all kind of had, an assignment, if you will. And then after we were done with these pieces, we all went out to the facility mm-hmm. and ran the event, mm-hmm. From there. And so it was July 17th. And I had woke up and got ready and was leaving the house, and he asked me, what time do I need to be at the Bel Ray? And I said, you're meeting Tim there at 6:15. And he said, okay. And it was probably 5 a.m. and I gave him a kiss and a hug, and I left. And I called him about 30 minutes later, and I was like, hey, I left these stands on the kitchen counter. If you have enough time, can you drop them off to me on your way? And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm leaving in like 15 minutes. Well, then I find like backup, and I'm calling back. Like, it's like 5:45 at this point. And I'm like, hey, I found some. Don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to come by. You can just go to the Bellray. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm heading out. And it was 6:06. It was like 20 minutes later. He called me, and like he almost sounded like he was crying. And he's like, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like, I'm having chest pains. And I'm like, chest pains? Like, he's 41. Like, what? And active. I mean, worked full time, went to school full time, played golf 4 or 5 days a week. Like, I mean, just so active.
Yeah.
And had never said anything about nothing.
Yeah.
So I was at the DoubleTree, and the Bellray is on 18th Street, so I wasn't far. So I said, hang up and call 911 because he was at the Bellray, and I'm on my way. And I beat the ambulance there, and my cousin Tim was there, and I remember he was laying on his back in the front room at the Bellray, and my cousin was asking him, like, where does it hurt? And like, does your left arm hurt? Like, where does it hurt? And he's like, it hurts up here. Like, I'm dying. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, the ambulance is on the way. He was like coherent, talking, like all of the things. Ambulance finally gets there, and he gets up and walks down the steps and gets on the gurney on the sidewalk all by himself, and is talking to them. Like, she's asking him, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your pain? And he's like, I called you. And I'm like, that's such a McKenna thing to say. Like,
well,
just tell her a 1 through 10, give her a number. And he sat on the gurney, and I was just kind of watching him, and his foot, like kind of fell off of the gurney. Like, he didn't, like, it like went limp.
Yeah.
Tim walked by and put his foot back on the gurney. And he was still talking, and he had his eyes open, and he was looking at her, and I was watching his head kind of do the same thing. Like, he was like losing control. Like, it was like going limp. And they're finally putting him into the ambulance, and I'm holding his hand, and it's like foam, but I had always imagined when people say like foaming at the mouth, like I picture like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
And this was like trickling, and he was looking at me, and he looked like he was in pain. And I'm telling her, I'm like, he's foaming. And she's like, he's breathing. And as she tells me he's breathing, he grips my hand so hard. Like, oh, I can still feel it. And they put him into the ambulance. And by the time I walked around and got into the front seat of the ambulance, I heard her say to put the paddles on him. And I need a second.
You're okay. Oh, man.
When you often wonder, like, what it's like or what happens, what you experience, I feel like you explaining this, if somebody's watching, they're gonna know like what to look for, so I feel like this is kind of a pretty important podcast.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. It's like, there really are no words,
There's
you know.
no words.
There's really
and
nothing.
like, I'm sure you felt this. Like, people will say, like, I don't have the words, and I'm like, I don't either.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, I don't know how to respond to you because nobody has the words.
I also don't have words.
Yeah,
like, and I might not ever.
Yeah, it's like you want to, like, I don't know. It's like for someone. Like, you're with someone grieving, and it's like you want to say you're sorry, and I'm so sorry, I don't know what to say, but it's like
I would tell people, like, I would say,
stop
saying you're sorry. Like, what are you sorry for?
Yeah.
Like, it would, like, I almost would get like mad, and Shannon's like, chill. Like, that's how they're expressing like their sympathy. I'm like, they don't have anything to be sorry for. Stop apologizing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do this. Nobody did this. And that's another thing. Like, I'll get there. So we were leaving the Bellray on 18th Street, and I told them just take him to Adventist. It was the closest place. and I can hear her. The window is cracked between the front and the back, and I can hear her like telling the other EMT, like, don't stop, like, keep doing compressions, like, charge them, and all of the codes. And I can just, I can hear, and something in me knew, like, it's not going to be a good day. Like, something is really, really wrong. And we got to Adventist, and we pulled into the emergency, and I was by myself. And I get out of the front, and I turn and look, and as I turn, they're taking him, and I can see them doing chest compressions. And I call my cousin Shannon, and I call his sister. I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but you guys have to get down here. Like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And so at this point, it's like 6:30, and I'm sure everybody has experienced, like, you ask for an update, like, what's going on? Like, what can you tell me? And, like, nothing, we're waiting on a room. And I'm like, waiting on a room? Like, they were just doing chest compressions.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean waiting on a room? And this is the security guard. So, like,
you're like, how much
he's not
does he
gonna
actually know? Yeah.
Right. And so by now, Shannon and his sister Charlotte have gotten there. And I feel I'm kind of like, what is happening? Like, kind of in shock, like, already.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, almost like I knew, like, he's not leaving here with me. Like, something's really bad. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, Shannon, isn't she a nurse here? And Elise is a mother of two of our brides who they've all just become, like, super dear friends. They're just wonderful people, and I adore them. And she's like, oh my God, I think she does. Like, call her. And I text Elise, and I'm like, don't you work at Adventist? Like, I'm here. They just took my husband back doing chest compressions, and nobody can tell me anything. And she's like, I'm off. I'm getting dressed. I'm on my way. I'm sending my friend Suzanne out to get you. And so we're sitting outside, and this woman comes outside, her friend Suzanne, who's also a nurse, and she's like, Kayla, like, come with me. We're going to talk to the doctor. And as we're walking in, she's like, I just want you to know he is head of emergency. Like, you couldn't have got a better doctor. We are abnormally slow in here this morning. I've never seen so many people working on someone. He has everybody in there. But doctor's going to be very honest with you. And so she takes me into this room, and he comes in, and he, like, kind of squats in front of me. And he's like, your husband is very sick. Like, his heart is very sick. And we are doing everything we can to keep him. But it's really bad. And so I talked to him a little. Like, kind of, he was quick because they were still like actively, by now it's probably, I don't know, maybe 7:45 pushing 8 a.m. And Elise gets there, and she just kind of goes into action. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, in and out of the rooms, looking at, his lab work, his keeping me updated, being honest with me, but so gentle. And she said, I remember her coming out, and she said, he has coded 3 times. And every time that they have to bring him back, his heart will get weaker. It will be harder for his heart to restart. They're trying to stabilize him enough to get him to the cath lab because there's a blockage in his heart. A serious blockage. And so she, like, disappears again for a little bit. But I do remember this. She told me that she looked at his blood work, and she's like, there's nothing that would really raise a red flag. Like, his white blood cells are, like, not in any medical field whatsoever. So I'm wrong. If
Like, I
I'm
don't know
calling
the
it the
proper
wrong
term.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I remember her saying, like, there's nothing in his blood work that would have really, like, made someone think this is going to happen. And so she disappears for a little bit and she comes back and she's like, they're taking him to the cath lab now. Doctors here, they're going to the cath lab. And I remember going outside and I got on my knees and I just prayed that it would be successful, whatever they were trying to do, that it would be successful. And while I was, and McKenna's sister Charlotte came outside with me. And while we were praying, we hear over the intercom, code blue in the cath lab. And I just knew, like, this is it. Like, this is, he's not leaving with me. Like, you know, like all the immediate, like, thoughts of like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what?
Yeah. You're just like in a dream.
Yeah. And so Elise takes, because at this point, some of his family has come down, his siblings, and so she moves us into the chapel, and she came in with the cardiologist, Dr. Desai, and he said, we have resuscitated him 5 times, and I can't give you an option to keep him alive because his heart will not restart for me to even put him on machines to keep him alive. And they called him at 9:09, his time of death. So it was really like a matter of like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he was gone. And I talked to Elise recently. I just wanted to know, like, because I felt like it was like 10 minutes. Like, I felt like all of this happened in like 10 minutes, but I know I was there for so much longer. And she told me that when she got there, they had just taken him to the cath lab. And she said, but I could tell by the look on everybody's face, everybody was, you know, that had been working on him was sitting there and they were like, we tried. And but also, like, find, like, you know, you look for comfort. I'm sure you look for comfort in kind of anything. And I found like a little bit of comfort in that there was nothing. She was like, everything happened on time. Like, you called 911 on time. He got here on time. The way that the room was empty was on time. Like, that he had all of that attention. She's like, and how fast he got to the cath lab was crazy. She's like, usually you have to call the cardiologist on call. You have to wait for them to come down. When they were wheeling him out to the cath lab, the cardiologist had pulled into the parking lot and was walking. And I told him, like, that's my family. And the cardiologist ran to the cath lab to do this procedure. And she said, even if he was in the hospital when it happened, where the blockage was, that he couldn't have been saved. Yeah. And so there was this part of me that was like, found comfort in just knowing that there wasn't really anything that day we could have done. Yeah. And the only way that they would have found it would have been if he had some kind of scan, like a scan of his heart of some sort, whether, I don't know if it's a CT or an MRI or if there's like an actual heart scan, but like that was really the only way we were going to find out because there was nothing in his blood work. Yeah. He didn't have any symptoms. He wasn't, you know, like he was super, it was crazy active. Yeah. Like, so that was, I mean, long story short, like that's how it happened. He had a massive heart attack that shut everything down, and there was nothing that, you know, anybody could do. Yeah. God, they tried. Yeah. To really save him.
Yeah. And like you talking about that a little bit of comfort in knowing that there was nothing you can do, because I went over and over, you know, I should have done this day. I should have done this. But like, you really can't beat yourself up about it. You know, like you said, he was in the best hands that he could have been in, and they did all they can do, you know, but you can never beat yourself up about what you could have done if you were there and hadn't left at this time, you know. That's just, you can't beat yourself up about that.
No, truly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how I think that had it not been that way, like that there's some kind of guilt, you know, that I would live with. And I don't think I could handle guilt in this, you know, season.
Yeah.
I am lucky enough that I don't have any regrets about, like, there was never like anything left unsaid between us. We both knew how much we loved each other, and we knew how special we were to each other. And so I think that had I thought that there was something I could have done, that I wouldn't be able to have that little bit of peace.
Right.
You know, I think that there would have been like you could have saved him and you didn't, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like I get a little bit of peace from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess awful as that is.
I know. It's like
there's
grief
nothing
is
you
so
can do,
weird. You find comfort in strange things, but you know what? To each their own. I feel like, you know, if we feel comfort in these signs,
by all means,
that you think mean nothing, whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Thankfully, you don't have to understand what we're going through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Count your blessings.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously. But like after such a like horrific, catastrophic day that you go through, you're just like you said, it's like feels like you're in a dream.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now what?
No.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember sitting on my front lawn and just like, what now? Like, what now? You know, I don't even know what to do with myself, you know? Like, you just don't even know.
Yeah.
You're trying to wrap your head around it. And it's just so hard.
I feel like it feels so cliche to say like you can't believe it, but like you really can't believe it. Like you're like, there is no way that my life changed in 3 hours. Like my whole life just changed. And like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Like it is, I think that was like my initial like feeling was just denial. Like there is absolutely
like, nope,
no way.
I'm gonna wake up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up. This isn't real.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
remember my cousin Shannon, I left the hospital, went to her house and stayed for 3 months. And I remember her and I sitting on her couch. She has this huge sectional, and I was sitting on one side and she was sitting on the other side, and it was silent. And we were just sitting there for a long time. I mean, a long time. And I remember my phone ringing, and it was One Legacy because he was an organ donor. And they wanted to ask me like these 52 questions. And I was like, I can't answer this right now. Like, my husband just died 2 hours ago. Like, I can't.
Gosh.
There's no way. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, you have to call his sister. Like, she can handle this. She has all of my permission. Like, I know that this was important to him. It was a conversation we had. But I just remember like hanging up the phone and like, oh God, like it is real. Like they're calling me to see if it's okay if they donate like parts of him. Like, okay.
You're like I'm already not okay. And now it's like, it feels like so many like slaps in the faces afterwards.
Over
like,
and over.
Yeah. All the things that you have to get in order and plan a funeral and just try to make plans and get your life back on track, you know? And hang on, sorry, I was going somewhere and then I was like, okay, just bringing all of it back to, but yeah, just even, I got my mail like 2 weeks after Kyle passed, and it was from like the ambulance, addressed to him, and I'm like, I open it, you know, and it's just like
paid to the order of.
I'm like, okay. You know, what did it say on it? Medical attention, non-transport. I'm like, Yeah, because he died that day, and you're sending this mail, and it's just like, it's, it's their job. That's what they do. But it's like, for us, it's like, this is literally such a slap in the face that I have to do this right now, and
it feels like such a business when when stuff like that starts happening, when you start getting the hospital bills or the ambulance bills or the doctor bills, or whatever the case may be. You're like, this is a business to these people. Like, and this was my life. Like, this was, like, I believe that I was born to love him. Like, that he is who I was put here to love. Like, I don't want to open your stupid bill.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Shove it.
Yeah, seriously. Can it wait just a little bit longer?
Yeah, you give me a couple, like 2 to 4 weeks, 5 business days.
Seriously.
So,
like, my life is literally in crumbles right now.
Yeah.
I really don't need to see the documents. Hey, pay me now.
Yeah.
Like,
Just here's your portion.
Just let me be for just a second, please. But yeah, so then after, I'm sure, pretty much living with Shannon.
Yeah. So I moved in with Tim and Shannon. God bless them. I mean, she saved me. She carried me. She saved me.
Yeah.
I mean, I God bless him, slept with her in their bed with her for 2 weeks. I couldn't. I'd be like, Tim, it's okay. He's like, go get in bed.
You know what? I'm just getting teary-eyed too, because my brother-in-law did the same thing for me, because I was spending the night at their house, and Brooks was only 8 months old, and then my nephew is only 7 weeks older than him. So we both had these babies, and my brother's a CHP officer, or was a CHP, whatever position he was at the time.
Yeah, he was working.
Anyways, yes, he was
he
working
had a job
a lot.
somewhere.
And he was also stationed, he was working down south for a while. So I just would spend the night at my sister's house, and I would, I got to sleep in her bed. And then even when he was in town, he'd be like, same thing.
Yeah.
Go get in that bed.
He's like,
you don't argue with me.
Yeah. Here. Like, go get in bed with her.
Yes.
And they, next to McKenna, probably nobody knows me like she does. And they loved him so much too. I mean, we worked together, we did life together, we traveled together. When I look back now, they were so busy taking care of me and making sure that I was okay. That I don't know that they got a chance to ever really process, but I immediately moved in with them, me and my 3 dogs, and went back and forth on staying in our home or moving, because we loved our home and it was our favorite place to be together.
Yeah.
We would rather be at home together, nobody else, than anywhere else.
Right.
And so I waited I probably waited 2 weeks, and my sister came and picked me up and took me to the house for the first time. And I remember walking in and just sitting, kind of just falling, this life is over. This is over, and I could just see him everywhere, and I could smell him and hear him, and I could see him walking by, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. There's no way I can live here. And there's no way I can pack this. I can't go through these things. I can't go through my 41-year-old husband's things.
Yeah.
And so I packed 2 suitcases. Actually, I take that back. The first suitcase my sister packed for me and brought to me to Tim and Shannon's before because I couldn't go to the house yet. I just didn't have it in me. And so when I went that day, I gathered another suitcase full of stuff and had decided I was going to, by this point, it was probably about almost a month out. And I had decided I'm just going to get an apartment. I'm going to sign a 1-year lease, and I'm going to get my bearings, because I don't even know what life looks like.
Yeah.
And I can't be there by myself.
Yeah.
Like I had never lived by myself at all, much less like in our home by myself.
Right.
So I lived with Shannon and Tim through the end of September when my apartment was ready. And then I moved out, and then we immediately went into busy season. So I moved out on September 24th, and we had our first wedding of busy season, September 27th.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was so busy that I didn't have time to process that, like, I was by myself. Like, I was so tired. Like, I was just tired all of the time. And I still, like, I missed him, and I had moments, but I didn't really get to dive into, like, or really sit and feel like what had happened. And so we were crazy busy. Like, I don't even think we breathed or slept in October. And then we had our last wedding of the year, November 8th. And then it was Thanksgiving, and it was going to be my first holidays. And I remember, like, the week of Thanksgiving thinking, like, I think I'm going to do all right. Like, I think I feel good. And, like, we loved these, and this was our routine, and I'm going to keep our routine. You know, I'm going to go to Tim and Shannon's in the morning, and I'll go by his aunt's in the afternoon, and then back to Tim and Shannon's for poker, because that's what the family does on Thanksgiving. And I remember I woke up Thanksgiving, and I was like, I'm not okay. Like, I have to do this by myself. Like, I have to drive myself over there. I have to say hi to everybody. I have to do this. I have to do this by myself. And, like, we thrived in, like, as much as I talk about, like, we just love to be, like, just him and I, like, these were our people. Like, you know, and we loved these times and, like, everybody joking and having drinks, and the kids are wild, and, you know, all of the things. And I walked into her house, and I remember I got to the door, like, the entry or the opening that goes into the kitchen, and she turned around and looked at me, and I lost it. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I just want to crawl in a hole. Yeah. And I just want to hide. Yeah. And I want this to be over. Yeah. And I think that was, like, the first real time that I let myself just really feel it. Yeah. Like this is how it's going to be. Yeah. Like, these are just the first ones. I'm going to pause for a second, because I really kind of skipped over getting into, I went into grief share 2 months out. Weekly grief share. I immediately, like, went face first into therapy. I did intensive outpatient therapy. Like,
we can get into all of that too, because I always ask about that too, because I'm such a firm believer on therapy, and I did the same thing.
I was like, oh God, I started that at, like, the beginning of September, so I'm already talking about November.
Yeah, like, no, that's okay. We'll go back. Yeah. Aspire Counseling Services provides caring, personalized support for adults and teens facing mental health challenges. From group therapy to mindfulness, art, and even pet therapy, their programs are designed to help people feel better and build healthier habits. Teens can get the support they need while still keeping up with school and home life. You can reach Aspire at 888-585-7373.
I think that Thanksgiving was just the first real, like, you're doing it alone, you know, because, like, he didn't do every wedding with me. He didn't do, you know, like, there were some events that we didn't need that, you know, depending on what the venue was or where it was being held. And so it was kind of like the first time that I was like, you're it. Like, you're it. Yeah. And seeing so many people that hadn't seen me since his services that, like, you know, how many, like, how are you doing? And I have tried to, like, stay honest. Like, if I say I'm hanging in there, I'm not okay. Yeah. But if I say I'm okay, I'm doing okay. Right. Like, I'm doing okay. And so, but I'm also kind of glad that it was Thanksgiving because it was all of my people. Like it was all of the people that cared about me,
Right.
you know, and the people that loved me.
Right.
And, but it was a road.
I feel like even feeling like you don't really want to do this alone and do Thanksgiving and whatever, but like you said, like it is so comforting to just have all your people with
Yeah.
you. Like they're not going to judge you for sitting
No.
there and crying. You know what I mean? You could be a
They
mess
hear
on the
you.
couch and they're just
Yeah.
like, you're
Okay.
good.
Keep being a mess.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
It was what I needed, and I think it really prepared me for Christmas because of how bad Thanksgiving was. I had like this like expectation going into Christmas that like, well, this is gonna suck. Like this was your favorite. Like this is when you guys made 10 different stops. Like, you know, we started at his Aunt Terry's on Christmas Eve, and then, you know, Christmas morning we did this, and then we went by here, and then we went by there, and I was like, oh God, like I have to do all of these by myself. Like I have to, but like still wanting to like honor him and like what, you know, the traditions that we did have and what our routine was at these times. So I still went to his aunt's Christmas Eve, and God bless them. Like they just all still love me the same, you know, like it doesn't feel like this is my late husband's family who like I'll stay in contact with, but like, no, like they're still my family. Like those are still, I have to say, I know so many people say with grief that like the phone calls drop off, the check-ins drop off. And like, I haven't really had that. Like everybody still checks in.
Yeah.
Everybody still like, you know, on Christmas, like my phone all day was like ding, 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 like thinking of you. I know it's hard. Like I'm thinking of you. We miss him. Like we loved him too. So there was something beautiful about that.
Right.
You know,
As bittersweet as it is.
Yeah. But just to know, like, almost kind of like that's where God is in this story, you know, is that these people still care for me and kind of showing me that we loved him and so much, and we loved you so much, and we still love you so much, you know, like, and just kind of showing me grace and patience. And if I rescheduled or I canceled or I said, no, I don't, like, I'm not there today. Like, never like, I mean, maybe they said something behind my back, but like it was always like, I get it. You let us know when you're ready. You know, on Thanksgiving, I text his aunt and I'm like, I just don't think I can do it today. Like, I think I just need to stay here. Yeah. And she was like, don't worry about it. Like, you don't need to apologize, you know, like, and so it is not lost on me how blessed I am, like with the people that love me so good, you know? Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy. having your community, having your family is literally all you can do. Yeah. I mean, I did have Brooks and like, okay, I have no choice. Got to do this.
I have to show up.
But one thing like that you brought up and just giving yourself that grace and not having to go and do all these things. I've always been such a little bit of FOMO and everything and like say, yes, okay, I can do that. And I stretch myself thin and I know that I do that. And I've always been that person. But after Kyle passed, it's like, okay, this birthday party's going on. And I'm like sitting there trying to do my makeup while I'm also crying. And I'm like, okay, no, if I'm having a hard time doing this, why am I going to force myself to go sit there when I'm miserable and I just want to sit in my bed and cry? Yeah. So after a while though, I'm like, I won't always do this, but sometimes listen to yourself, sit and cry if you want to. Don't force yourself to do things. Like let yourself breathe, let yourself grieve. Don't force yourself to do things because you feel bad about what other people are going to think, you know? Right. But also, don't only sit in your home either, you know? Get yourself out there a little bit. Right. Like, it is so easy to just sit there and just want to do nothing. And you have to sometimes, I don't want to get up at all, but I'm going to go even just get outside for a little bit. Like
100%.
Look at the sun, hear the birds, I just need a little mental break because like in your head, like grief is exhausting. You might not have actually physically done stuff, but like your mind is like absolutely exhausted.
Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself, shortly after it happened, like within the first month, like a couple of different things. I like made two commitments to myself. Like, number one, you're going to make your bed every day, because we did not ever make our bed, and it was a mess, and it drove me crazy because he slept like a freak. And number two, like, you're going to keep your commitment. So if you do tell somebody that you're going to do something, you're going to do it, because every morning I would wake up, and whatever I had like on the calendar that day, I in bed, literally my first thought was, how do I get out of it?
Yep.
I don't want to go.
Yep.
I don't want to do this.
I was so there. Oh my gosh.
And I was like, but you have to keep your word. And like, obviously, like, there's going to be times that something comes up, or you really are just having a day, and like, and you can't do it that day. But if you tell somebody you're going to do something, like, you have to do it. And my mom dealt with depression for for as long as I could remember. And I could remember my mom being on like vacation and spending days in bed. And I like a couple of weeks in was like, I do not want to become this like sad, reclusive widow who just stays in bed and is depressed all the time. I had never dealt with depression. I had had anxiety and dealt with anxiety, but felt like I had developed the tools to manage that. But I was like, I could easily stay in bed all day, every day, and just sulk and be sad and feel sorry for myself. And like, that's not who he was. It is not who I am. And I don't want to be that person. Like, I don't want to lose who I am, even if who I am is not who I was, because I will never be the same person that I was. But I immediately just kind of told myself, like, you are going to develop all of the tools you possibly can to survive this, because otherwise, you're not going to survive it. Yeah. You're not going to survive it. You will wither away.
Yes.
And I could so see how someone could get there.
Right.
Like, and I understand it. Like,
you have a whole new perspective, a whole new understanding.
Whole new understanding. And I dove head first into therapy.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Like,
therapy is so important. It's so important. And I had been seeing my therapist for like 10 years already like dealing with anxiety and like, because anxiety for me kind of came out of nowhere in 2016. Like, I'm laughing at all these 2016 trends right now. I'm like, oh my God, I was losing my mind. Like,
oh my gosh.
But so I had already had a therapist, but I had not seen her for like 4 or 5 months. And I that day like made an appointment, and I think it was a week later, and I did it on Zoom, and she came on and she was crying, and she's like, I know why you're here, and I don't even know what to say to you. Like, I am so sorry. Like, I know how special he was to you. Like, he's the only person you never complained about. Yeah. You complained about everybody else, but never him. And I dove headfirst, and I was seeing her once a week. I ended up going into an intensive outpatient therapy program where I was doing like group therapy 3 days a week for 3 hours. And my brother's mother-in-law is a facilitator for the Grief Share program. Okay. And she had reached out and was like, we have a new session that's starting. It's a 13-week program. I think it would be really helpful. And, you know, several other people had mentioned this Grief Share program, like, you should look into it. You should look into it. And I just kind of felt like I am so deep in my own sad story right now that, like, I don't want to hear anybody else's sad story. Like, I am grieving his life. I am grieving who I was because she's gone. Right. And so at my next therapy appointment, I remember telling my therapist that, and she's like, don't rush into it. This was probably like a month out from him passing. She's like, don't rush into it. Like, you're not ready for that now. You're still in shock. Like, you are numb. And then it was like 3 weeks later, I had a session with her, and she was like, you need to start Grief Share. Like, you know what you need to do. Like, you're like, you have that much going. Like, you might not be doing it yet, but you know what you need to do, and you know what you don't want to be. And so I think it would be really good for you. Like you need to start the grief share. And so I went to grief share the following Monday, and it was the 2-month anniversary of his passing. And I fell in love with it. Like it was all of these people. It was like the first place I felt validated, like where I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. Like you feel that too. Like, oh my gosh, like, you know, and it was amazing. And I'm still like, my group ended in just December. I think it was the first Monday of December. We have a reunion at the end of this month, but I still talk to them. Like,
I love that.
Like there's like this kinship that, you know, like just trauma bonding, if you will, you know.
Yeah.
One of the women had lost her husband had passed away like a week before McKenna had. And so she was so new in it too. So it was like, I like latched onto her and was like, and she was probably like 50s or 60s, but I still was just like, oh my gosh, like she feels this. I can tell that like her pain, she has the same pain, like it, like a pain you can't, you know, like you can't describe that I know, like I will always have in some capacity. I will always feel this ache. Yeah. But it was the first place I felt validated and where I could just freely talk about what he meant to me, and they understood. Like they didn't just look at me with sympathy or pity. It was like, we get it.
Yeah.
Like
it's
we
not one
understand.
of those I can't imagine kind of things. It's like, I do know.
I hear you.
Like,
I feel you. Like I see you. I feel that.
Yeah. I had tried to go to what is it? Grief. What is it called?
Grief share.
Grief share. Yeah. I had tried a grief share, and I want to say it was maybe only 2 weeks after Kyle passed, and I had gone too early. Yeah. So I was in there, and I went with Kyle's mom actually, and we were there, and we both just were like looked at each other. We're just like, I hope they don't ask me any questions, because I actually don't want to share right now, you know. Yeah. And so we tried. I think we went twice, and they were like, I didn't think it was for me.
We had a couple of people that had come and were like, and you could almost feel like they're not here yet.
Yes.
Like, you know, and I got that, because if I had gone any earlier than I went, it wouldn't have been successful for me. Right. And I'm actually starting another round the 25th of this month. I'm starting another round because I know that I was in such a fog and like had no idea what I was doing or navigating or like how to do anything, that like I know there's so much I missed, and what I did get was so good for me, and like just kind of gave me a foundation to like keep walking, keep moving, keep, you know, getting up and doing the hard things. Yeah. Even if the hard things are just breathing. Right. So I'm starting another session.
That's awesome.
Just because, like, why not?
Yeah, seriously.
And if I get halfway through it and I'm like, you know what, I think I got what I needed, then also fine. Yeah. You know, but
you're not required to stay there, but like it can only it can only help, you know?
Yeah. And then I leaned heavily into my faith, and because I felt like I could go one of two ways. I could be really, really mad at God for taking him from me, or I could know what I know, and that he's in this story. And so I think that kind of almost, for me, went back to, there was literally nothing you could have done to save him. And so there was a part of me that like knew like, oh, it was his time. Like God took him because it was his time. Right. Like there really was like no other, you know, interfering with that. Right. Like it was, you know, hit on his terms. And, I think that my faith is 90% of like how I keep moving, like, and how I keep breathing, and how I just keep doing the things, like all of the therapy and the, like, those are tools that God provided to me to, you know, like to develop like these tools, like that I've learned and like put into practice and continue day to day. But like this week I've fallen apart all week. Yeah. You know, I was on the phone with my therapist the other day, and I'm like, I didn't anticipate like our anniversary coming up being this hard. Like I knew it would be hard, but like, and it's the 6-month anniversary of his passing, like all on the same day. So like I still like I know that these these forms of therapy and the grief share, and like I know all of these things were offered to me and provided to me because I leaned into my faith.
Yeah.
So,
and you need those tools to just like, help you move through your day.
Amen.
Like I didn't go to the grief share for a long time, like maybe twice, but I had met some other widows on social media, and same to this day, we talk all the time. Yeah. And we might not talk super often, but when we do, it's like, I'm having a moment like this is what's going on. It's like, okay, I know I was just there like 2 weeks ago, and then we just can talk about it, you know? And it's like this new friendship that you can have this dark humor with and like just share things, because it's so nice to have someone that gets you.
Oh, the dark humor. Yeah. I do have one that I use. Like I will, like if I forget to call someone, matter of fact, his brother had called me and I didn't even realize it had been a week until I called him back, and he's like, oh no, it's fine. It was just like a week ago. And I was like, don't make me pull the widow card. Like I'll pull it.
Yeah.
I'm not above it. Like I'll do it, Chris.
I will pull it.
He's like, I know you will. I'm like, so don't try to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
So, I hear you.
Some of the things I've said, my sisters just looked at me like, oh gosh. I'm like, just laugh, okay? Just laugh.
Right.
Well, usually we kind of end with a piece of advice that you would give anyone kind of struggling, going through what you're going through, whether it be any sort of medical advice or just grieving as a widow. Do you have anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I would say two things for the griever. Dive headfirst into therapy.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I would not be able to sit here and even half smile or even talk about it if I hadn't developed the tools through therapy to be able to talk about it. And like I'm happy to talk about it. Like I'm not happy, but like I want to talk about it. So I would say for the griever, like therapy is hard to get started.
Yeah.
But once you go, like even still, when I have a therapy appointment, I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it today. Like I want to reschedule it, but I don't. Like I go to it, and when I get done, I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't move that. Like, I'm so glad I went.
I didn't realize how much I needed it today, you know?
Totally. Yeah, I didn't even plan on talking about that, you know? And then medically, I would, my other piece of advice would be do the scans, go to the appointments. Like, doctor's appointments are so hard to go to, right? They're not hard, but like, we'll go next week.
Right. It's easy to push off. Yeah.
And especially like a routine appointment, you know. My sister's husband, through this, had decided to go to the doctor and get a physical, and he told him, like, I want some kind of heart scan. Like, I want you to look at my heart. And his doctor's like, why are you pushing for this? Like, what's going on? And he kind of told him what happened to McKenna. And the doctor's like, all right, I'll put you in for, and I couldn't remember to save my life what scan
what it was,
for. But he found a 90% blocked artery, and he goes this month to get it cleared. And it's like, that for me, it takes me back to God is in this story. Like, McKenna's saving lives.
Yes.
You know, by him, because if he didn't go get this scan and he had a heart attack, chances are he doesn't survive it. You know, so make the appointments, go to the appointments.
Yes.
Advocate for yourself. Like ask the questions, demand things, because my best friend, her doctor's like, oh no, your numbers are fine. Like, you don't need this. And she's like, I don't, whether I need it or not, like, I want it. Yeah. I want to make sure.
I want some peace of mind here.
Yeah. Like, I want to know, like, my best friend, who is, you know, he was 41, also had numbers that were fine. So I want to know. I want you to do the scan. Like, I want you to make sure.
Right.
So go to the appointments, make the appointments, go and advocate for yourself and push for all of the things.
Absolutely. Gosh, it's not easy, but just do it.
It's not, but do it.
Yes.
You'll be glad when, I mean, and these appointments take like less than an hour. Like
Yeah.
it's literally an hour of your day. And I wouldn't wish, as I'm sure you, the pain on anybody.
No.
Don't do that to your family.
Yeah. Well, I really, really appreciate you coming in and sharing, and I don't even have the words. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank
And I'm proud of you, though.
Thank
You're
you.
doing it.
I'm proud of you. You are too.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Shattered Silence. As always, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also watch full episodes on YouTube, or you can listen in on Apple Podcast or Spotify.